Hello, everyone. We're back in the corner again because I did not feel like moving my tripod. So here we are. Hello. It is October, my birthday month, Halloween month. So for Halloween month, I am going to review black horror movies, whether it's a black cast. I'm going to try to stick to black directors as well, but we'll see. I want to do some like old school ones as well. Like I don't want to spoil too much, but I want to do some black exploitation ones. You know, I'm gonna showcase the people, my people. So yeah, hope you all are doing well, keeping yourselves well. I just want to say I really appreciate everyone who watches my videos every week. For the people who are subscribed, I really appreciate you all so much. I had to start my channel over, so that was like a whole thing. So, you know, I really appreciate you. So yeah, so now I'm gonna get right into today's video. So I reviewed the movie Bones, and I'm gonna give a synopsis. It was directed by Ernest Dickinson. It was released October 26, 2001. So like right for Halloween. It stars. Let me do the synopsis. So it's a supernatural horror movie that starred rapper Snoop Dogg as the euphemous. I think that's how you go. That's how you say it. Euphemous. Eponymous Jimmy Bones, and a murdered numbers runner that rises from the grave to avenge his death. The film is set as an homage to blaxploitation films of the 1970s and incorporates numerous elements from that genre. So yeah, I'm going to tell you the cast. Of course, I said Snoop Dogg. He's the main character, Jimmy Bones. Pam Grier was in it. The legendary Pam Grier as Pearl. She was Jimmy Bones' lover. Michael T. Weiss as Detective Louis Lupovich. He's a crooked cop. Clifton Powell as Jeremiah Jaybird Pete. He is like the business partner of Jimmy Bones, but he double crosses him. Ricky Harris as Eddie Mack. He is like a pimp who like tries to work. I think he's a pimp. He tries to, or no, he's a drug dealer. Sorry, he's a drug dealer who tries to like work with Jimmy Bones to sell drugs, but Jimmy Bones doesn't want to do that. He wants to keep his, community clean, keep them prosperous, keep the black people, not drugged up. So Eddie Mack didn't like that. Bianca Lawson is daughter of Jimmy Bones and Pearl. So when Jimmy Bones got double crossed, his girlfriend Pearl was pregnant, apparently. Catherine Elizabeth as Tia Pete. I think that's the wife. I hope that's right. Is it the wife or the daughter? Khalil Kane as Patrick Pete. He's like kind of the main character, other than Jimmy Bones, Meredith Mondesier as Bill Pete, who was like one of the brothers. So Patrick, Tia, and Bill were all siblings. And then Linda Boyd as Nancy Pete. I can't remember if that's the mom or the sister. One of them, y'all. And then they have the Jimmy's like soul is in a doll, not a doll, and a dog. And the dog's name is Primo the dog, as Bones the dog. So yeah, I'm gonna if I don't flash, y'all. But yeah, I'm moving on a little bit. But yeah, so I'm going to say my pros and my cons. So basically, these kids, they might be like young adults. I'm calling them kids as if I'm like 45. But I do refer to them as kids in my review. They buy Jimmy Bones' house, which he's, haunting. So basically he was trying to do this deal with his partner Jeremiah, aka Jaybird, and with Eddie back, but when he didn't want to do it, they double crossed him. Tried to hold him at gunpoint, to do it, but then they ended up, they had an altercation and they ended up killing him. So, and then these kids, of course, go to this abandoned house that just looks creepy as hell. It's been abandoned for a long time, and they're like, we should make it into a dance club. 100%. This makes so much sense. Spoiler, it does not make any sense, but I'll talk about that. Okay, my pros. So we're going to start with the good things I like, and then we're going to go to the cons, and then we're going to go to my overall opinion, and then I also wrote a poem. So let's get into that. So my pros, the story, it felt like a story. I liked the story of the movie. It was very unique. I love that the take on revenge of blaxploitation plotline. I feel like that was really interesting. Like, to make a modern blaxploitation, I thought that was really cool. I love that it seemed realistic as far as him like being double crossed. Now everything else, very supernatural, very unlikely. But yeah, other than that, one thing. And I love how they had the plot point of there being 2 to 3 worlds in the world of the story. So there's like the human world, then there's the world of the dead, and then there's like an in between. So yeah. And I also love that Jimmy Bones just wanted to protect the community and see it thrive and not overrun by drugs and despair, which unfortunately, because they killed him, that's kind of what happened anyway. And I still say it's a common theme in movies, and I really love the analysis. I wish they had leaned into it more, like more commentary instead of kind of like making it subtle. And I wish the story centered on Jimmy before he got double crossed and what he was like, what he was about. Then once he got killed, and like him exacting revenge. So like, I wish they had talked about him more, which I'm gonna get into. That was one of my other favorite parts. Was Jimmy Bones as a character. Snoop Dogg did a really good job. He portrayed him very well, and I like that he wasn't a pimp or a drug dealer. Like, he actually cared about his community. I loved his style and his swagger. And of course, like I said, I wish they had developed him more before he got killed. And how he ran his dealings. I feel like that would have been cool. And I want to know more about him and Pearl's relationship. They don't really get very much into it. And I love that he was like supernaturally powerful, like a vengeful superhero. LOL. Like, he could just do a bunch of stuff. So yeah, it was really interesting. And I think he could have been his own iconic character if the movie had gone like further. Like, I don't know if they would have done a sequel. I don't know if it could have had like a Candyman kind of thing, because he did have a Candyman. They have like a song, the like urban legend song for him. I guess it's like a fable. I feel like that could have been the same with Jimmy Bones. Because like they have like Jeepers Creepers, which is kind of like a sleeper hit. I don't know, I feel like I could have went further, even though I'm not really like a fan of like just basically milking a franchise, which what a lot of franchises do. But I feel like it would have been cool. I love the settings of this movie. I like Jimmy's house. It was very unique and beautiful before he died. I wish we got like seen more of it when he was alive, because when they were doing the business meeting, it looked so beautiful. And it was like really interesting that it was like this gothic house in like a very urban city area kind of area. It was really interesting. And when they were looking like before, like he got double crossed, you could see like the nice hardwood floors. They had like a reception desk. It was like really nice. I would have liked to seen it before, when he was alive. And I love the creepiness of the City of the Dead. It was very creepy and trippy. It was like wall hell, lol. So it was like, instead of being in a pit, everybody who was like in hell, it was like in a wall. So that was interesting. I used the wrong there, of course. because I was doing this like 4 in the morning. But anyway, I also love the setting of Pearl's business and home and how she was able to use her psychic abilities to make it so Jimmy could rest. I'm not gonna spoil like what she does exactly, but it's pretty intense. Um, I even loved Eddie Mac's place. It was interesting, and it seemed like he was stuck in the '70s. LOL. Let me change it. Okay, here we go. The special effects and the practical effects, of course, they weren't as advanced as we have today, but I think I still love what they did. I think what they had, like with the City of the Dead, like the walls of the City of the Dead, the blood coming out of certain places, like in one scene when Jimmy is trying to like exact his revenge on Eddie Mac, he was cutting like he carried a switchblade, he was cutting the pool table and blood was coming out. That was really interesting. Um, the things that Jimmy was able to do, like the supernatural power things, was really interesting. So I think it was good with the like technology that they had. I think they did, pretty good job. So I'm gonna get to the cons. So the story was a pro and a con for me. Even though overall I love the story, it still could have been more fleshed out to me. I want to know more about Jimmy Bones and not the idiot kids who buy his house, LOL. I want to know more about Pearl and his relationship, and I feel like Jimmy was the standout, and he should have gotten more. Oh, we should have gotten more background information on him. That's what I really wanted to see. And I didn't really care about the kids, honestly. I get their dad had to be like the one who helped kill him, so then like that's how they found the house. But I feel like they could have connected that some other way. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Because it's just like convenient that his kids want to, renovate this specific house. And of course, it's the house of Jimmy Bones where he's technically haunting and is still buried. You know what I mean? So I feel like it was kind of cliche. And of course, it's like his dad's realtor company like owns the house so that they know that so that nobody else will like buy it. So yeah, I feel like that could have been more unique. Now the characters, besides like, this is mainly for the kids. Like I said, they're like young adults. They're not really kids. They were very stupid and annoying. Once they found the dead body in the basement, we would have been out of there. I don't care how much money we're gonna lose. I would have been up out of there because I don't like that. I don't want to sleep in a house with a skeleton in the basement. I don't know what's up with these kids, but yeah, they wanted to stay because the guy was like, oh, I don't want to lose my money and spend all my money on this house, but then it ended up getting destroyed anyway. Spoiler alert. So either way, it would have been a loss, and yeah, me personally, I wouldn't have wanted to be in the house with a dead body. And there were like so many red flags. They found a jawbone, and they were like, "Oh, maybe it's an animal jawbone," when it clearly was not. And then there was still blood, from like 2 of the victims that had went in the house like to hide, so Jimmy killed them. It was just like, it was dumb. Oh, and then I want to put, I'm not trying to have no club that bad, and I said, "Ain't no way, boy." Oh well. And they found the dog looked up. So like Jimmy was like in the spirit, like was like a black dog. It's like his spirit, and they found the dog like behind the door, like basically locked up. And they're like, "Oh, this will make a great pet." Like you're not like concerned about why this dog was locked in a room, or like I don't know if it was locked, but it was like he was closed inside the room. Like you're not concerned about that, and nobody lives here. And there's just this dog here. I don't know. Where else was I? Yeah, the kids were so stupid. And Maurice taking Jimmy's. So one of the kids is named Maurice. Did I not include him in the cast? I think I maybe forgot him. Oh, whoops, I forget him. But one of the other kids was named Maurice, and so he takes Jimmy Bones' ring off of his finger, which I'm like, if it's a dead body, I'm not disturbing nothing. I wouldn't even want to be there, But I'm definitely not going to disturb someone's, resting place, and take their ring. But then, of course, like the first time they have the party, there's like some random beautiful woman trying to seduce him, just out of nowhere. That's not suspicious to you? Is that not suspicious? Is that not suspicious? That was suspicious. But yeah, he kind of deserves to die because, like, what was it? You really fell into the trap that easily? But I didn't really have any problem with the characters who like besides, so the people were double crossing him. I kind of wish they had given more background as to why they would like want to force him to be in business with Eddie Mack. Like, what was that about? I mean, they kind of do like say like the dad, Jeremiah, aka Jay Bird, did say he wanted to have better, and he didn't want to be second to Jimmy Bones. But everybody else, what was their motive? You know what I mean? So yeah. The pacing of this movie, it was so bad. It was like a slow build up for like the first hour, and then like 30 to 40 minutes, it speeds up, and they just cram all of the revenge in it. When I feel like that could have been like, I mean, I guess it was like brewing, but I feel like it could have really stretched that out because I feel like that was like one of the main parts of it. And I said it would have. I would have rather spent time developing the setting, the story when Jimmy was alive before he was killed than waste time on these kids renovating his house and having a party. And that was like the first hour of the movie. And like, I mean, the characters who double crossed him kind of getting visions of him and stuff, but I don't really care about these kids. So Cynthia, this is gonna be a pet. It's like a nitpick of mine, but I hate when they have like two brown skin or two dark skin parents, and then they have a light skinned daughter. Like, what? I'm not saying that is impossible, but I feel like that happens a lot. Like on the family, on the show My Wife and Kids, when they had a dark skinned daughter, and then all of a sudden they had a light skinned daughter and a dark skinned son. I mean, I would say they were like Marlon Wayans, and I forgot her name, but the lady who played the mom, I feel like they both were at least brown skin or light skin. So I mean, like, it was just weird. It's just a weird thing that happens, and it just irritates me because a lot of black TV shows and movies like do that, so that just bother me. So I just don't understand why you can't have two people with similar skin tones and have a child with a similar skin tone. So yeah, especially because like in the song about Jimmy Bones, they said that he's like really dark skinned. They're like that's a part like he's black as stone or something. Of course, when I'm recording, my throat's like hello. So anyway, my overall opinion. So I really enjoyed this movie. I watched it either once or a few times as a teenager on TV, but I'm glad I revisited it. It was a really fun watch. Even though I couldn't stand the kids, lol. And I really loved Jimmy Bones and the powers he had. Snoop Dogg was such a great casting for this role. And of course, Pam Grier's iconic. And I've always enjoyed everything I've seen her in so far. She was great in everything I've seen her in. Like I said, I wish you could have got to know more about Jimmy and the war he lived in before he was killed. But I still enjoyed it. Anytime I got to see him on the screen, it was really fun. So overall, I give this movie 7 out of 10. I honestly enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It's not super scary, but it is creepy. So that was good enough for me to be spooked after finish watching it. Also, I really loved the twist at the end. It was very unexpected. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I feel like that was a cool ending. So I wrote a poem for this movie, and it's called a Septolet, and it's a poem consisting of 7 lines. Goodness gracious. 7 lines containing 14 words with a break in between the two parts. Both parts deal with the same thought and create a picture. So I don't know if it's 7 lines, is it? I think mine is a little longer. Whoops. We're going to work with it. But it's called The Big Payback. So in this in the movie they have Snoop Dogg did his own version of The Big Payback by James Brown. And I thought that was really cool. And it's called Jimmy's Revenge. I thought that was really cool. So I inspired my poem based off of that. So it's called The Big Payback. Revenge coming for you. Pay the price it cost. Paranoia, waiting, anticipating your end. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a fun watch. Like I said, I didn't really care for the young adults of the movie, but everything else was pretty cool. And this one was actually harder to write than I thought it was going to be. You think if you have less words to write, it should be easier. But then it's like less words to like showcase like what you want to say. So that's like the only thing, that's hard. But yeah, I hope you all enjoy this review. It's on Tubi right now for free if you want to watch it. Tubi's kind of weird, so I don't know how long it's going to like stay up there, but it's up there now. I haven't seen it's going away, but yeah, watch it for free. It's not long. It's like an hour and 30 some minutes. So yeah, I hope you all having a good spooky month, and you guys have whatever plans you have. And yeah, so yeah, I'm not gonna say too much because I feel like I might change my mind. I mean, I'm definitely gonna do black horror movies, but I don't want to say which ones just in case I change my mind. But I'm just gonna give you some in the running. I want potential Blackula and its sequel. Even though I need to re-upload my video of the new. I reviewed the new Candyman that came out either last year or the year before. I forgot what year it came out. But the new Candyman, I have reviewed, but I need to re-upload it. But I would like to watch the original trilogy. I think it's just a trilogy. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like the first Candyman, and I didn't really like the concept. So I don't know how much I'm gonna like the trilogy. So we're gonna see how that goes if I watch it. Now also, none of them are for free, so I have to rent them. So I have to really consider my coins. And then I was thinking of the movie Bad Hair on Hulu. There's another old school horror movie called Abby that I was thinking about. And I'm sure. Oh, and then I wanted to review Us and Get Out because I reviewed Nope, and then those are like my other two number one favorite horror movies. So I have a lot of ideas. If you have any other movies you recommend, let me know. I'm gonna try to stick to. I feel like probably some of these do not have black directors, but I guess at least black cast, black things. I'm gonna try and keep it in there. So yeah. Yeah, so those are my plans for the month. We'll see who makes the cut. If I add something new, if I take out a movie, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I will see you all next week.